Hello everyone and welcome to EH Enthusiast from Uganda. Here's what's coming up. With the ie-trams set to enter service, we look at some of the reviews and people's opinions on what to make of the ie-trams as they make their first appearances on the Route 35A, expected this year. Also ahead, the Elizabeth Line and London Overground won't extend to Thamesmead, but the DLR will. We look at the proposal which has been put in place for the DLR to extend further down to Thamesmead. Then, a trip down memory lane, as this year marks the 70th anniversary of the Routemasters serving in London. I take you across all of the key memories that date all the way back down to 1954. Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Enthusiast in Uganda, and we wanted to start off today's show by looking at the new ie-trams, which are set to be arriving onto the Route 358 in this coming summer. Now, we take a look at the ie-trams as it's something that's new and it's different to all of the other electric vehicles which are currently in service because it's a different shape and it's something that not many people were fans of from the first glimpse which they've seen of it, and from what I saw of when I saw it at the Orpington bus garage opening day, is that it's a very unique bus, and I would say it's different, and it is part of the future for what is to be for buses, and it's going on the 358, which is a good route which runs from Crystal Palace to Orpington. So when I do come back to London, I'll be trying that out and reviewing it on this program. But from what we've seen is that a lot of people, even here, which I'm reading here, lots of people are dismissing it from first thoughts. People saying that it's not what London's about. This is not what we wanted for the bus community. Now, from what I've just read there, I would say that a lot of people here are very dismissive quickly of new things. And I'm not saying that it's everybody, but you know, a lot of people like to judge things quickly. A lot of people that I know in the community and who I'm close friends with have dismissed of it, but not of this, but of different electric vehicles which have come previously and now they've started to like it. So I would say that just give it time and you'll get used to it very quickly, because I know it's something completely different to the current vehicles that we do have, such as the Enviro 400 EVs, the Electroliners, and all of the other buses which are in service as well. So give it time and we will we'll get used to it. Don't worry, it will be all fine. This is pretty off the top of my head because I don't have my teleprompter which reads off everything. So the next topic that I did want to talk about, which I'll also continue when I arrive back in London, is TfL, where they're saying neither the Elizabeth Line or London Overground will be extended to Thamesmead, but the DLR will. Now, from what I know of this, is that the DLR, there was a proposal for it to be extended to Thamesmead by 2030 or whenever, from what I was reading. It was something they wanted to do, but there's never been a concrete agreement in place for this to be done. So they've now also included the Elizabeth line into that as well, which I doubt will be extended to Thamesmead, because there's no point if it already goes to Abbey Wood to have it go to Thamesmead when you can just link with the local bus services around the area. So I don't see the one with the Elizabeth line happening, but the DLR one is interesting because it only goes to Woolwich Arsenal on its normal route. So an extension further towards Thamesmead would also be a good thing because it's also giving more of an opportunity to that side of the area, because some people wouldn't want to travel all the way to Abbey Wood to catch the Elizabeth line, and also, waiting for buses as well takes long. So it's good if they are going to go ahead with this DLR extension. I'm a big fan of what they're saying here. But I'll continue the rest of that topic when I arrive back in London tomorrow. And there was something else that I wanted to talk about, which I can't seem to find. So I'll continue this when I get back to London. I just wanted to quickly hop on here because I hadn't recorded for a while, because most of the videos which are out on this channel from the 26th of July to August 13th. No, August 14th were all pre-records, so I hadn't hopped on to film anything and I was getting bored during my holiday, so I just decided to quickly film this. So that's it for this short 5-minute segment, and I'll catch you for the rest of the program in London.
Now, as we've previously spoke about the DLR and its extension, TfL are pressuring ahead with the DLR to link to Thamesmead, but no extension to the Elizabeth line or London Overground will be in place. TfL have rejected calls to extend the Elizabeth line or the London Overground, but will press forward to extend the DLR to Thamesmead. The TfL announced on Friday that after positive feedback from a consultation, it will now progress to developing the business case for connecting Thamesmead to the Docklands Light Railway. This comes after much talk previously in previous years about this being done, but now they're really pushing forward to go ahead with it. However, though, amongst all of this, they do say that the currently unfunded part of it, the cost will be up to £1.7 billion from what I read here. And they also say that it will be likely to require funding from the private and public sectors and is unlikely to open for at least another decade. And also during the consultation, which ran between February and March, TfL received 1,254 responses from the public and 29 responses from the stakeholder groups. But many did say that it would be better to extend the London Overground across the river to Thamesmead rather than the DLR. Others have suggested extending the Elizabeth line. The Lizzie line's southeastern branch currently terminates over a mile away, so at Abbey Wood. Alternatively, a new branch could open, created to the Elizabeth line station at Woolwich. Many others, including the Labour MP Abena Apong Asari, who represents of the Erith, Thamesmead and Bexley Council, called for the DLR to not terminate at Thamesmead, but to extend further into the borough, ideally to Belvedere, as a possibility beyond Sam. Respondents suggested that trams could connect to Thamesmead with surrounding transport hubs, but TfL said that extending the overground would not offer the same value for money or improvements to capacity and efficiency that is needed to unlock new development in the Beckton Riverside area. TfL did not rule out the extending the DLR beyond Thamesmead, but said, quote, "Our focus is on delivering a DLR extension to Thamesmead, which remains unfunded. If an extension beyond Thamesmead or Bexley becomes financially possible, this will be considered further. Our designs will continue to take a potential further extension into account." Currently, in Thamesmead, there are said to be more than 30,000 people living there. who have been poorly served by public transport with no train or tube connections linking anywhere near between them. And the only ones which they can reach are if they go by bus to Woolwich to catch the Elizabeth line and DLR, or if they go to their nearest train station, which is Abbey Wood. TfL preferred option would be to extend the DLR's Brexton branch, adding new tracks from Galleon's Reach, the penultimate station on the line, and taking these south to Thamesmead via a new tunnel under the Thames. A new station, Beckton Riverside, on the north side of the Thames would also be built. But the line will not extend additional mile from Thamesmead to Abbey Wood, where it could connect with the Elizabeth line services, nor would it connect with the city airport, which is currently served by the Woolwich branch of the DLR. Passengers would have to travel to Canning Town, then switch DLR lines to reach the airport. On this point, and concerns that the DLR would be too slow for passengers wanting to travel to central London, TfL said the DLR extension would connect with the Elizabeth line and Jubilee line services at Custom House and Canning Town, providing a frequent and fast connection to central London. Bexley Council supported principle of the proposed DLR extension, but stated, quote, "It must be designed to enable a further extension into Bexley, and it believes that an extension to Belvedere would be relatively a low cost, and the area would be a great benefit for improved connections to the transport network." TfL also want governments to remove the safeguarding of the Thames Gateway Bridge, a proposal which was in vogue when Ken Livingstone was mayor, but which has since been abandoned, and the DLR tunnel would be in a similar location. TfL does hope, however, to work on an interim outline business cases by the spring of 2025, subjecting to funding. TfL hopes to start construction in 2028. It claims that extending the DLR would support up to 30,000 new homes and 10,000 new jobs to reduce car dependency and improve access to jobs, retail, and leisure activities. TfL have also conducted an opinion of 356 people, and of those, 85% supported or strongly supported its proposals. Along with this, London Mayor Sadiq Khan has also said, quote, "I'm also pleased to see public support for those plans to extend the DLR to Beckton, Riverside and Thamesmead, which will unlock huge opportunities for London, support tens of thousands of new homes, deliver new transport connections, and boost the economy, also supporting the creation of thousands of new jobs in the country." TfL is in the process of replacing its fleet of DLR trains, but it has fallen behind schedule and exceeding its budget, in part because of the problems with a train depot. According to TfL analysis of its construction, 58% of respondents say that the DLR would make their journeys quicker, and around the local areas, 75% said that it would make the journeys into East and South East London easier. Alex Williams, who's one of TfL's chief customer and strategy officers, said that, quote, "We will now progress to work on plans for the Cross River extension of the DLR, which could see customer benefits from the early 2030s and continue to discuss funding options with all parties." Roxana Fires, who's the mayor of Newham, said that the project has the potential to unlock a new development in the south of the borough, which would allow us to press ahead with plans to build more affordable homes, improve community spaces, as well as opening riverfronts to all residents. Anthony Okereke, who's one of the leaders in the Royal Borough of Greenwich, said that extending the DLR will not only transform Thamesmead, but it will also make the whole area of London easier and more convenient for people to and from around the place. Now, for the talk on the ie-trams, There are a set of fleet of new electric buses which are set to roll out after a long delay this summer. TfL has confirmed, which will be operating firstly on the 358, which runs between Crystal Palace and Orpington. The rollout of the 20 trams are battery electrics, which were due to enter service last year, but had been hit by complexities working with stakeholders and landowners to install the charging infrastructures. Pantograph charging is necessary at the end of each route due to the service being one of London's longest, standing at 15 miles. The 450 kilowatt pantographs are being installed by EO Charging to allow opportunity for charging within 5 minutes, which limits turnaround times and ensures fewer buses are needed. Iriza is delivering the last of the standard out zero emission buses to operate at Go Ahead London this month. They're built to the latest TfL bus safety standards, specifications and features of traditional London bus livery. Sadiq Khan has recently said and written a submission letter at his mayoral question time regarding a timing of the introduction. The all-electric Route 358 ie-tram buses are expected to start operating in summer 2024. There will be TfL's first end-to-end opportunity charging trial, and it's important to get the hardware installed properly before the buses are introduced. The electric buses will use pantograph technology for quick boosting charge at the end of the route, allowing for the bus to stay out for the full day. The new buses will also resemble a tram, which has enhanced customer features and the latest bus safety specifications. Go Ahead London is also set to deploy 28 Iriza ie-trams on the Thamesmead fast track or bus rapid transport network later this year. Now, obviously, when I was away abroad on holiday, you did hear me talking about people's reviews on the ie-trams, which were very subjective, because it's a very subjective topic. You know, you're allowed to have your opinion on this situation, but I do want to just quickly say that people should not be quick to judge something that they've not tried out yet. Obviously, I know people are very attached to a lot of the old buses which are around still, and also ones which have previously succeeded us. But it's always nice to give new things a try and not be dismissive of it very quickly, because you never know. You could end up liking it yourself, and then you look completely stupid for the opinion that you've made. But obviously, each to their own. I'm not criticizing anybody for what they say, but obviously, I'm just saying that when it comes to stuff like this, it's a very subjective topic, you know, because you're allowed to have your own opinion, obviously. But what I'm going to say is that don't be quick to judge stuff before trying it out. That's all I have to say. Now, on to our next and final topic of the show. And now we look at the Routemasters, the iconic buses which stand around the whole of London and are seen everywhere. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the Routemasters serving in London. They were first introduced in early 1954, where they were a popular bus around the whole country. But they also were not also introduced in 1954. That's when they were more common. They actually came out in 1851, which was in Paris. They claimed to have the world's first double-decker omnibus, the Imperial, which was introduced by the Compagnie Générale des Omnibus in 1853, a George Cruikshank cartoon from the time of Great Exhibition proves that Londoners were already pitting off onto the roof, tilling knifeboard horses by 1851. Now, I'll take you through a brief history of them. In 1933, up to this point, London had has had as many as 40 types of bus on its road at one time. That's all set to change. However, the formation of land transport, which promises to usher in a properly coordinated system of passenger transport. In 1939, the RT type buses enter service. They are not Routemasters, but let's face it, they look very, very similar and will go on to cause endless consternation amongst other scrupulous bus anchorists who deliver withering remarks to writers for concerned London-centrics publication who incorrectly but understandably misidentified them. In 1954, following 7 years of the design, the public get their first glimpse of a Routemaster at the London Commercial Motor Show. Like the RT type, it has a bus driver's half cab next to the engine and the open rear conductor's platform, but the Routemaster is also far lighter than the aluminum tech acquired building plans during the Second World War and can carry more passengers and is easy to operate and cheaper to run. Just under 3,000 Routemasters will be built. Precise number will differ, but to run in central London, but also as Green Line and airport buses. In 1956, on the 8th of February, the Routemaster RM1 prototype drives out Cricklewood bus garage and officially enters service on the route number 2 between Golders Green and Crystal Palace, and as it proudly announces on its flank, London bus of the future has arrived. But not all plain sailing. The driver Francis Howick later recalled that the Routemaster felt so light on the front wheel, he applied the brake and it skidded. It frightened the life out of me. In 1958, Chris Church in Southwark designed the R. Paxton Watson is built, and it features a beautiful stained glass window depicting of a Routemaster. In 1961, the tartan-styled maroon, yellow, and green Routemaster moquette was unveiled, and it's worked on by Douglas Scott, the designer of the Routemaster himself. Decades later, the Routemaster will be buying Routemaster maquettes, socks, scarves, pajamas, and even laptop cases. In 1966, a new kind of Routemaster with the engine shifted to the back, front entrance doors and a full-width widescreen is launched, called the Fruitmaster, so called because of its FRM designation, which eventually taken out of service in 1983. In 1966, Nareen's London, the quintessential guide to architecture in the city, is published, and its front cover showing the author impishly poking his head out of the driver's cab of a Routemaster. And here I have a bus journey from 1968, which is recorded in 60 FPS, surprisingly, on a bus ride throughout London, going through Piccadilly Circus and other parts of London. So here's the clip. 1972 now, Tom Jones catches a magical Routemaster to Arizona. At least we think it's a Routemaster, but can any pendants confirm this? In 77, 25 Routemasters are painted silver to mark Elizabeth II Silver Jubilee. It's an echo of the 2002 50 Routemasters, which are painted gold. In 1984, the final episode of the Anarch sitcom, The Young Ones, end with Rick Mail and the co-plunging off a cliff in a Routemaster. Phew, that was close, shouts Rick before the bus explodes into flames. In 1989, the London Transport Museum takes custody of the RM1, the first of the Routemaster prototypes which you can see in the museum today, which is this one, which you can see on screen now. The picture is one of the 50 Routemasters painted gold to celebrate Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee. In 2002, the Routemaster flipped on its side in the dystopian movie 28 Days Later. In September 2005, Travis Elborough publishes his book, The Bus We Loved, London's Affair with the Routemasters, in which he wistfully evokes them as a roll-top Bath's guardsmen read, and they excluded on air of the impeccable polite majesty at the night glowed lanterns, harbour lights beckoning us home. On the 9th in December 2005, the last original Routemaster completes its final journey from Marble Arch to Brixton, and its destination. It's met by a crowd of adoring and emotional fans, but it's not all quite over. The Routemaster, because the previous month, heritage bus routes have been established on the Route 9 and 15. In 2006, the Routemaster is voted as the top 10 British design icons along the Spitfire, Harry Beck tube map, and the K2 phone box. In July 2008, BBC 4 broadcast a half-an-hour documentary on the Routemasters, which you can see now in full in the description down below, which you can watch yourself if you want to. In 2009, the first Imber bus event is held, in which the convoy is a vintage bus of the Routemaster and the Pottle across Salisbury Plain. In February 2012, the first new Routemasters start running, designed by Thomas Heatherick and championed by then Mayor Boris Johnson. The buses are whole praise, and it's not even until you've taken a ride on the new Routemaster that you'll become fully aware of how unlovingly our current fleet of gushers, the Gardens problem, are on the horizon. In September 2015, TfL announces that it's retrofitting 800 new Routemasters with windows that can actually open, after Londoners complained that the aircon wasn't working properly. In July 2016, 300 Routemasters conductors lose their job as the role is removed from all of the buses. Boris Johnson had previously talked up the importance of these conductor roles. Londoners then published an article, The Calamitous New Routemasters, tell you everything that you need to know about Boris Johnson. In 2017, amid the TfL budget constraints and reports, the new Routemasters aren't as environmentally friendly as it was claimed, and the London Mayor Sadiq Khan announces that he's going to scrap them in the future for new electric buses. In January 2019, Londonist published its 360-degree video of a Routemaster ride on the Route 15. In 2019, in the run-up to the general election, in a somewhat tardy post, the infamous Brexit bus promised to fund the NHS Burger King parked a Routemaster in front of the House of Parliament, showing an image of a Whopper burger and the line, another Whopper, on the side of the bus, which must have been in the election. In 2021, TfL retires the number 15's heritage routes, citing a fall in passenger numbers and a lack of accessibility. They can still see your fixed Routemaster ride in a London ghost bus tour after afternoon tea or on occasional heritage buses. Finally, in November 2021, Londonist Harry Rose Hill publishes that Routemasters of the Universe, in which he discovers 50 old Routemasters, new lines, and everything from a bra-fitting showroom to a German McDonald's in Germany. And he also went to go on to say that you're a bit of a legend when you come up with this street name. The Routemaster closed as on the site of an old bus garage in Plaistow, which was taken by Matt Brown in 2021. And that is it for now. If you ever miss our show, you can always find the latest episode shortly after it airs on our podcast. And remember, you can always catch us online across social media on YouTube and Twitter, and you can see us everywhere else as well. Thanks for watching, and goodbye from London.